I don't remember discussing that with them, but there are quite a few signs out there. So
well,
one extra has
permission ahead of time to put the signs up.
Well, not specifically.
I mean, it probably doesn't make a lot of difference, but I think I would have thought this, you know, because they're putting signs up on your roads.
Right. Probably doesn't make a whole lot of difference. One more thing for the plows to drive around. I mean, they're off the road, but look like to me they might be in reach of some wing blades.
If you had the wing over there, those couple of them aren't that far in.
Yeah, so I guess it is what it is. In any case, the contractor and NextEra has been pretty good to work with. Some of the haulers have been a little bit of a bear to work with on permits, but all going pretty well. And I guess that's about all I got for that project. EDF and White Construction and that team working on the Golden Plains Wind Farm north of Buffalo Center are progressing in their submittals and getting closer to construction. Here I have 90% construction plans for their civil portion. So access roads, driveway locations, intersections to widen, a general idea where their crane path will be and their collection electric will be. Sent some comments back and they'll be making some adjustments. That's moving along.
If you want to go to their thing coming up with the landowners.
Tell me about it, I guess.
Well, I just found out about it yesterday. They sent me the invite yesterday. I was supposed to forward it on to you guys. And they said if you want to be there too, they would welcome that.
EDF?
So I wanted to call them, but it's to do with the EDF.
Did you forward that to them?
No, I haven't yet. I just got it last night and I was following it.
I don't remember seeing it.
But I can forward that on to you.
Sure. Yeah, I'll try to be as helpful as I can.
It is a private meeting, but it's just with the landowners.
Sure. Who was your point of contact for that?
Well, I'll get you the information.
Okay, sounds good.
I did have a question. Do you have any knowledge of when the first 3 wind turbine projects or 2, whatever it was, went in? Was it an opinion that the roads were worse off after they left than before they came?
From my understanding of basically what Mark's told me is the 2 turbine projects that Blattner was the contractor for, which was the 2nd and 3rd, those were left in better shape. The first one, not sure what the small one was the first one, and I think that contractor wasn't quite so great to work with.
That's the way I remember it.
I think ultimately they settled up with everyone to kind of get things back to.
And that's kind of what I told the individual I was talking to yesterday. Said they had seen it on Facebook or social media somewhere. A certain Joe Goshi over in Cassuth County is claiming that the reason our taxes went up 20% was because of the wind turbines. So I explained it to him.
In this county?
Huh?
In this county?
Yes.
Taxes for last year or for this year coming?
Oh, I think it goes way back to.
All right.
Yeah. So
there's nothing they can do to raise taxes.
No, he's just saying the burden of the repair on the roads made the levies go up 20% is what he was saying on social media. So I'm thinking, I don't know if you go on social media at all, or
no, I figure I'd get in trouble.
I've talked to Joe before, and I've had
I kind
a big conversation with him.
A letter to the editor in the Buffalo Center paper to let people know that that's not the case. I explained it to the gentleman from Alliant that we did have challenges with one of the companies, but we eventually resolved it. The other 2 were good. So we don't have a problem with it. I said 20% increase if it was. over the years is probably due to a lot of other things, like this building, and that building, and other things.
Whatever the case, we can surely put our finger on the information if we know what people want to
But
know.
I didn't want to respond to anything without facts, you know?
Yeah, and that, again, I'm,
The way I always remembered it explained to me, yeah, there was one company that was challenging, but we eventually resolved it.
Because I was actually asked by one of the pursuit supervisors, the new ones. And I can't see how that could ever be. And they're asking, I just wanted, what you just said.
I
One
told them
company
our
wasn't
roads-
challenged, but they,
Our roads were in challenging shape before the project started, and our bridges were in challenging shape, and we utilized the taxes from the turbines to respond and repair a lot of roads, so it was a benefit to us.
yeah, that's half of the main point. The other half is we have, you know, an agreement in place and for this project to take care of things.
And all the projects are doing. FNC and
yeah, and the ITC, I mean, credit, they did a real good job, I thought.
Yeah.
And they have the same contract as what EDF and Alliant are gonna have, right? Basically.
I don't remember
what company you talking about?
ITC and their
Well,
project.
ITC and their contract with secondary roads, and I thought they were just gonna be almost mirrors of each other at one point. I thought we
As
discussed.
far as taking over and controlling, you know, the.
Yeah,
Yeah, keep the upkeep.
we didn't have the same agreement in place for ITC, but again, I mean, the working relationship between our office and theirs and, you know, Mark and their field staff was excellent through the whole thing. It's just,
And with Alliant Energy involved, I don't think they're gonna want anything that's not gonna be done right, so I don't think it's gonna be an issue.
again, communication is the key and things seem to be going in the right direction.
Do you know the guy that's saying that? He's the guy at that meeting in Buffalo Center that you were at, we were all at, the various, what was it, the Board of Adjustment meeting. He was the one kind of in the middle or back middle, that you were only supposed to be able to speak once, but he spoke, I don't know, 7, 8 times at least.
I was gonna say,
He's not even from our county, so.
Okay, well, if you have any information to share, I'd be happy to read it.
I'll pass that on too, because he sent me a screenshot.
Okay.
yeah,
So you should be aware, and I wanted to get some facts, so I appreciate it. I didn't have anything else on roads. You have anything?
you're right, see.
You didn't have anything else, Scott? All right. We'll move on to others offices, drainage matters. $311. Is that just a reclass? There's no big project? Okay. So I mean, the phone calls from the coffee shops.
Oh, yeah.
Since I'm not at the coffee shop every day, they just call me when they're at the coffee shop.
Yeah, no, and I've had a lot of calls on it too, and I've just been explaining how
Yeah, I had
it
one
just
call
needed to be
me,
reclassified. It's been 50 years.
I had one call me, and because I didn't, I went, God, you know, I've got it in my bag, you can look at it.
I knew we've been repairing through the years.
Right.
There's all kinds of things going on, I said, but
And
we
I
just
told
got to
him,
the point where we couldn't fairly bill it,
and that's Cassuth and Winnebago, right?
But Cassuth is not
reclassing.
reclassifying their
No,
side, just
no,
our side.
It's just our side of it, but it's, I don't think there was any kind of a repair.
No, there was a minor one.
But
But-
it's
Probably
always
less than
that,
what we've done before.
Yeah.
nothing where you're gonna have a
No.
major billing on it, or, yeah. And I said, well, if you wanna get your info now, you can call Chris at the auditor's office.
I've had a lot of
I
calls.
said, she knows everything.
Well, Tom Rick was asking the other night too.
Oh, yeah,
I think
yeah.
this DD 16 feet dump into it or something? Yeah.
Mhm.
So does that get reclassed,
Not 60, because 60 itself is fine,
but the outlet?
but the outlet, so now I have all the parcels that are in 60.
So that's why you got a notification, it's outlet.
Yep. And instead of trying to figure out how to build DD 60, I just know the parcels and what their assessment, original assessment is, and that way it just gets back to me. So future is gonna be great.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's good to hear that we've got one that's just a class.
just reclassified.
Anything else on drainage matters?
There you go.
Okay, we've already approved the liquor license for Isaac Walton, so we'll move on to number 5. Appoint engineer for DD 34-30 possible improvement project.
And we already have Jacobson Westergaard working on the reclass,
So he just as well.
so it'd be just as easy to have him
Where's 34-30?
down in Grant Township.
Oh, that one, yeah, we talked about last. Okay.
So that would be my recommendation.
Down by where stores, south of the barn.
Yeah, I've been down, I think when we did FEMA work, I had to go down, because Willie wasn't here.
I'll make a motion to appoint Jacobson Westergaard as engineer for DD 3430 possible improvement project.
I'll second the motion. On a motion from Jensvold and a second from Derby to appoint Jacobson Westergaard as the engineer for the 3430 possible improvement project. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign.
And I'll make sure that I give Rick your number and the petitioner and Brant Tiling, and that way they can all talk about what they've looked at so far.
Yeah.
Chris, I don't know if it's kind of standard for you guys to talk with Mark, but I'm sure he's got some insight down there too in that district for whatever you're.
It's just a possible improvement. They think the tile is, they don't have enough cover. There's some trees in the area. They wanted to just move the tile. That's not possible. So it was best to hire an engineer.
I always thought you could run, as long as you didn't improve the drainage coefficient, I thought you could run another tile.
But then that's, which one is the main then? I mean, if you're gonna make a new main,
As long as the outlet's not any bigger.
Well, it isn't the main that they're talking about running around it, I think. It's the, lat, I can't think of the lat number now.
and I don't have a lot number.
Yeah,
I took off without it.
So I have it as the main. So if it's not the main, then I really need to get.
unless they're talking that, I don't remember him saying it. I thought it was the one lat running up into
There, I have on the improvement to check branch 1
Allen's
and,
Post, I think it is.
yeah, and lap 4.
Yeah.
But on the main petition, I just had the main. But we'll get that figured out as to which one Allen's looking at.
We'll move on to number 6, discussion with possible action letter to CSS DHS.
This is the same one we got email, right?
So we'll just see any changes to it. Well, I don't know, did it get emailed Friday then? Late Friday morning I got it back. Sandy
Yeah, and Sandy
was gonna go through it.
forwarded it to me, I think.
Okay.
February 8th.
So basically, the letter is spelling out the complications that's been created by the region, complications that have been created by the legislation passed last year that allows us to form a new region, and the challenges it created. I think, weren't you at some of those meetings?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So the timelines were not good, and we're spelling that out in this letter to DHS, and we're asking that they allow us to continue forming a new region. And part of the thing we're talking about here is it's also an issue of discrimination, since we're a rural county or group that's isolated from certain things. It's just, they need to look at that. So our first choice was to keep forming a new region, and the second choice, if that's not possible, we would like to be placed into a different region other than the one we're in, because of numerous issues. Are you okay with this?
Yeah, no, that's really what it's all about. So, I guess now we gotta figure out how to get the legislature to think about it, I guess.
Right.
If we, let's see what the spring school is soon enough. We can try to talk to them down there. Of course, I'm gonna, or
We'll talk to them Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
But, if they're all in favor of home rule and people being able to control their own destiny and where their money is spent and who spends it,
Should be standing on their desk
screaming from the,
We can always count on our team to do that.
there you go. How are you?
I'm coming back.
Coming back.
I'm coming back. Yeah. Wasn't easy, but I'm coming back.
You had to bring backup today, is that it? You got help?
Okay. Oh, this is Grace Zapłatinsky. Did I right? And she is the new community news editor for the Silo Tribune.
Oh, okay.
And actually, I will be going to work at the Mitchell County Press News. So.
Okay.
Oh, are you?
Mm-hmm.
You're retiring, huh?
I'm sure there'll be plenty there to keep me busy.
Okay.
I've been reading up on it.
Oh, they've got lots of news over.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're,
And we've been part of it. It's interesting. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, I guess it seems to be our only path at this point to give notice. We'd like to continue our avenue towards our own region and try not to be put back into the same region we're in.
yeah, that would, be awful nice. And by far, the best choice is the own region.
We indicated in there that there are possibility of other counties. I couldn't turn it down when it was ringing, and so you won't.
Same color again?
No, it's somebody else.
And you just import.
Just waiting for it to get done so I can sign it.
Have the other counties looked at the letter and,
I believe they're all voting on it yesterday, and
is it the same basic letter then? Everybody's together, as far as us north?
yeah, I think similar. There's some things in here that Cassuth probably couldn't put in their letter, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, they're all going to be Cassuth, Worth, and Winnebago are all going to be similar letters.
And then,
Hancock will be sent a copy of it, and I think Webster was going to get a copy of it too, because Webster has great concerns for this region.
very, very good questions.
He is a very smart person. I'm glad we got him down there challenging some things. Well,
What did he used to do?
I don't know anymore.
He was in on, he sure seems to be awful knowledgeable about everything. He's been,
For a new supervisor, isn't he a new supervisor, or is he somebody that was there but not on the committee?
you know, I'm not sure of that. But, yeah, he just sure seems to be on top of it. Worth passed it yesterday, according to Sandy, evidently she's watching on YouTube. Hi, Sandy.
Okay.
So it must be the same letter.
Well, you okay with it then?
Yep, I'm okay with it. I'll make a motion to, send the letter as written to CSS and the DHS for our withdraw and from our current region and our, finding the ability to create our own region.
I'll second the motion. And just to clarify, this same letter is CC'd to CSS, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's not directed to them.
No, but they'll probably have a copy of it, I'm sure.
Right. Let the lobbying begin on their part, I guess.
It says on here to send the letter to CSS and to DHS.
Personally, I thought we were just sending it to DHS.
So
Because we had already given notice to CSS that we were relieving.
yeah, yeah, I think
We're
there's
just
a letter.
continuing down that path.
I can see why they'd have an interest in needing it, but I can't, unless there's some reason we have to send it to them. Sure.
So you want it just to DHS? Is that what's to?
That's
That's
it's intended to.
it's basically for.
It's to.
CSS already knows what we're leaving.
It's addressed to 3 people at DHS.
Does it say at the bottom after you sign it?
The-
Does it say CC anybody else down there?
No.
Okay.
So, I guess you want to change your
I'll
motion?
change the motion to send the letter as written to the DHS.
And I'm sure they'll get it to CSS. I'll second that part. So, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Sandy says only DHS.
She's watching.
Yeah, that or she's standing out in the hallway around the
I was
house.
gonna say, she's got good ears.
She can't move that quick.
Yeah, no, well, she's getting better though.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got the mood off anyway.
All right. Well, all we can do is hope for the best on that one,
Yeah,
for everyone. Open forum.
Is this intended now for you guys to leave? Break
Yeah.
free?
Oh, you got here just afterwards. We explained that our intent is to keep forming our own region. And that's most of the letter. The challenge is to do that because of the timeline was just almost impossible. But we'd like to continue on that path. And if for this year we can't continue on that path, the other choice would be get put into another region, even temporarily.
Have you heard any indication whether DHS is interested in having you form another region? Or will that take legislative?
It's gonna be a challenge. Well, and it's gonna take legislation. So,
my guess is they just assume the big regions.
what we're looking for from DHS is their support when we go to do legislation.
So has anybody contacted Guth or Gassman or?
Right.
Right. Well, I've talked to them about this issue before.
Right.
So they're apprised of it.
That they need to get it in front of the legislature somehow to allow counties to have home rule and be able to do and partner with who they want and not force them to partner with people they don't want. As the other regions really don't want to get bigger, the ones that we go to. So, you know, and the DHS says that there's information out there that says that the small regions won't be viable in the future. But so far, they're all being viable with lesser levies than what we have in our large region.
So is this gonna get in the hole fast enough, or what's gonna happen here? Are they gonna get it in for this legislative session?
I hope so. They got it in quick last year.
Yeah, we worked hard to lobby it last year, so it's the same path.
It's just that they
They
came
set
up
the
with a
parameters
formula
too
that
high.
was unattainable for us. Because of the, we could have done it probably if you wouldn't have had the contiguous border thing. Because then we could have got enough of us together, but the contiguous border thing stopped us, because we would have gotten to the point where we would have had enough population.
And we didn't anticipate that, because the original code said that as long as you have an existing relationship, it's okay to be with that region. But they changed it to where you have to be contiguous.
So is anyone gonna lobby to try and create the rules to make them lower than what they were last year? I mean, is
I
will
would
do that, or?
I would lobby also to, I mean, if you have a previous relationship, you should be able to stay. There's no reason that Emmett County should have to leave CSS if that's where they want to be just because we do. And that's not fair either. So, I mean, it's,
Who knows, maybe they just don't want to go that way. They'd like to stay with this way, but if we end up with our own region, they may want to go with us. I don't know.
it's possible. But at one point, they did not want that. And I don't think anybody should be forced to do business with someone they don't want to.
They've also got new members. Don't they have a new person representing them?
Yeah, that retired.
So there is the possibility of somebody going forward and saying, okay, well, here's the reasons why we need this. And talk before, say, a committee or something like that. Say, here's the reasons why we need the regulations at this bar, not this bar you guys said last year, but this bar right here.
If they're gonna allow other 3, 4 county regions to exist, there's no reason we shouldn't be able to form a new. You probably end up being at least a 5 county region, because of the contiguous border thing. Emmett will end up with one of them. It could be us, and then maybe they go back to the Northwest. But that's where they were before, and they decided to move on. And,
So we might see a resolution on this by the end of the year. Maybe.
they did it last year, managed to, then, well, we'll either see a resolution on it or we won't,
Right.
you know, and then it won't be as pretty.
By current rule, it's gonna be almost impossible to form our own region this year because there was deadlines to meet. But we're looking for a waiver of some sort to
One of the things-
continue doing that.
One of the things we were waiting for was a meeting in October, in October, Cassuth had their mediation. Didn't get before us until last Wednesday.
And then,
And now it's been put off to the next meeting at the end of the month. We ended up having 2 meetings this month because the other one got delayed 2 weeks because of weather. And, but, I mean, it could have been, I can't believe it, could have been on the agenda in November. So my guess is they've purposely been keeping this off, pushing as far as they think they can.
make us look.
And then the CSS's lawyer came to the meeting and didn't have any of the facts straight on what happened in the mediation, and has been corrected since. So now we gotta revisit it again the end of the month.
How
So,
convenient.
now whether he was just missed, you know, didn't understand it right, or whether he got misinformation or what, I do not know. But he had the correct numbers, he just had the numbers representing things differently as far as what was going where and how, and what was. So,
Makes a lot of difference.
well, yeah, when you turn 2 numbers around, one is only 136 and the other one is 300 and some. And it makes a big difference, yeah. And he even went so far. Jack Platt was talking about it at the meeting, and he says, I was at the meeting. He said, no, he said, I wasn't at the meeting. He says, but from what I understand, that is not how it came down. And then the CSS lawyer says, well, I was at the meeting, and I know. And it turns out he ended up being wrong. So.
Obviously, he's paid way too well. Doesn't do his job.
You know, I don't know what happened there.
Selective Alzheimer's.
Yeah, I don't know how it got messed up, but it did, and they're going to be straightened out yet at the end of this month, so. But, I mean, it's just pushed it on several months down the road to where, you know, it just makes things impossible to get done.
So as far as the county is concerned, we're still going to pay into CSS until such time as we leave it.
As far as I'm concerned, we'll pay into it until June 30th.
Okay.
And then after that,
Because of the new fiscal year, we're searching to
well,
make
we'll be
your
on our own. We'll be
Hopefully. We have not committed to CSS for next year. That's the basic way of saying it. Where we end up is another story. Doesn't be determined. That's what this letter was all about.
Terrific. All right. Thanks, guys. That clarifies everything.
Is there some deadline where you have to either commit to CSS or not?
the deadline for,
For the next fiscal year?
we already withdrew from the CSS.
Oh,
and
okay,
they
that's
accepted
right,
that
sorry.
That
back
was
in
November
October.
15th, we had to give it that.
Uh,
That's why the timeline to form a region was so difficult, because our 28E agreement says you have to notify the region by November 15th. But you only had a couple months to get counties together and agree on something, and it takes time.
Which I think it could be done quicker than things.
Well, I think the first time through, it was a little challenging sorting through it, understanding. Second time through would be a lot easier. Are we done with that subject?
I guess so. I wish.
Open forum. I haven't heard from Dina yet on that matrix. They were supposed to call me to go out there and score that.
Maybe it's been too icky. Oh, is this the one that got it late?
That just came late, yep.
Are we in open forum now?
Yes.
Okay, can you, let us know what is other business for tomorrow on the agenda?
For Wednesday?
Yes.
Oh, for the VA?
Well, you have discussion of VA and then number 2 is other business.
That's a good
So
question,
we don't know what that is.
Whatever comes up, I guess.
but it's gonna be, we'd have to identify it to action on it, and maybe able to discuss them. We
Yeah,
can't
no,
act
yeah,
on
we
it.
can't action on anything because it's, I can't understand what it would be. as far as.
We've always adhered to the, it's better be on the agenda if we're gonna act on something, so.
Okay. And then also I sent you guys an email. Did you guys get my email?
When?
Sent it probably a couple weeks ago or a week ago, discussing about where we are with the early retirement and advertising. And I haven't heard back from any of you.
No. I guess I'd rather discuss it in a public meeting before we
Okay.
allow that type of thing. That's my opinion.
So are we gonna discuss it next week then?
I think we should put it on the agenda and discuss it with retirement.
Well, we need to know either way, because by the time you advertise and
Is
get,
the deadline up for,
No, the end of the month.
the end of the month, is the deadline for people who wanna apply for it?
I
And
suppose
so
we can
far,
put
we've
on there
only got
with
2
possible
takers.
action, just in case. They don't have to action, but have the possibility of something.
and then if you guys wanna just check and see if you did receive that email.
I did get it, yeah.
You
I just
did?
didn't know which one you were talking about there. I guess I kind of wait, I thought we were going to discuss it this week, but it didn't get on the agenda.
No. Because the longer we wait, you know, either way, I'm gonna have to put an application out there.
Anything else for open forum? Julie, did you have anything?
No, just listening.
Okay. We like listeners.
See, just look at
Maybe just look at it.
these grounds that are going on.
Well. Ready. That's what I'm already looking at. So she must have meant for me to have this for the matrix, because I haven't been called by DNR yet. So I'll just take that with me for scoring. And now I'll have its contact information. Right. Yeah, hearing nothing else for open forum, we'll move on to consider for approval auditors transfers. auditor's transfers.
I'll second it.
A motion from Derby and a second from Burnsville to approve the auditor's transfers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Hearing no further business before us, we are adjourned.
It's a bad day to have a short meeting. I have another meeting in Mason City at 1.
Yikes.
Have fun coming back.
And I have not seen any information yet that says that